What's the most creative way you've ever followed your parents' rules just to annoy them? My parents instituted a no electronics after 9 p.m. rule when I was 16, claiming I was addicted to technology. They'd patrol the house collecting phones, tablets, laptops, anything with a screen. But they made one critical error in their wording. They said no electronics, not no entertainment. So I became the most analog teenager in America, and it drove them absolutely insane. The rule started after they caught me gaming until 3 a.m. on a school night. Fair enough, my grades were slipping. But instead of reasonable screen time limits, they went nuclear. Every night at 9 p.m. sharp, Dad would make his rounds like a prison warden, confiscating devices and locking them in his desk drawer until morning. This will teach you to appreciate life without screens, Mom declared triumphantly, as if she'd solved teenage rebellion forever. Week 1, I was miserable. I'd lie in bed staring at the ceiling, listening to my friends texting in our group chat while I was digitally exiled. But then I remembered something from history class: malicious compliance. If they wanted analog, I'd give them analog. I started with music. No electronics meant no Spotify, no iTunes, no digital anything. So I bought a 1970s boombox from Goodwill and started collecting vinyl records and cassette tapes. Every night after 9 p.m., I'd blast classic rock through my bedroom wall, which happened to be shared with their bedroom. Led Zeppelin at 9:15 p.m., The Who at 9:30, AC/DC at 10 p.m. Turn that down, Dad would yell through the wall. It's not electronic, I'd yell back. It's analog sound reproduction. When they instituted a reasonable volume rule, I got creative. I found a wind-up mechanical alarm clock that tick-tocked like a grandfather clock on steroids. Then I bought 6 more. My room sounded like a medieval clock tower, but technically none of them were electronic. Next came lighting. No electronics meant no LED light, no digital displays. So I bought dozens of candles and turned my room into a medieval monastery every night. The flickering shadows and wax smell drove Mom crazy, especially when she worried about fire hazard. You could burn the house down, she'd protest. Fire is humanity's oldest technology. I'd reply solemnly, pre-electronic era. But my masterpiece was communication. Couldn't text my friends? Fine. I bought a CB radio from a truck stop, completely analog, no digital components. Every night at 9 p.m., I'd tune into local channels and broadcast to anyone listening. Breaker 19, this is Grounded Eagle, looking for fellow analog rebels in the area. I connected with truckers, radio enthusiasts, and other teenagers whose parents had similar rules. We created an underground network of analog communication. My parents would hear me talking to Midnight Runner and Thunder Road about homework and weekend plans. Who are you talking to on that thing? Dad demanded. My study group, I said innocently. We're discussing analog alternatives to digital research methods. The breaking point came when I started learning actual analog skills to enhance my non-electronic lifestyle. I taught myself Morse code and began tapping messages on my bedroom wall to communicate with my sister next door. I learned calligraphy and started writing elaborate letters to friends, hand-delivering them at school like a colonial-era postman. I even got a manual typewriter and would clack away at homework late into the night, every keystroke echoing through the house like a machine gun. When they complained about noise, I explained I was developing traditional writing skills that our generation was losing to digital dependency. The final straw was the sundial. I convinced them to let me install a legitimate sundial in our backyard because analog timekeeping would help me appreciate natural rhythm instead of digital clock addiction. Every morning, I dramatically announce the time based on shadow position, ignoring their digital clocks entirely. It's approximately 7:43 by sun position, I declare at breakfast. Though atomic clock precision is a digital dependency, so I prefer celestial approximation. 3 months into my analog rebellion, they cracked. I found Dad researching healthy screen time limits for teenagers instead of total electronic bans. Mom was Googling how to compromise with stubborn adolescents. That Sunday at dinner, they presented a new proposal: electronics until 10 p.m. on weekdays, midnight on weekends, with the condition that I'd stop my analog performance art. My parents never instituted another blanket technology ban.